What up, everyone? DJ Anubis here with you on the Metal Time Radio podcast, doing another episode of Lone Wolf with Dub. And yes, I'm still fighting my cold, so if I cough, I do apologize. I'm just fighting through this shit, this sickness that I have. It's been mainly just a cough. Like, I haven't really been feeling bad. It's just this irritating cough. So got my medicine. Hopefully it's helping a little bit. Get that done and out of the way. But initially, when I doing this series, I said I was going to do Bloodsport, and I'm still going to do Bloodsport at some point, but I don't know. I saw a movie last night, and it caught my attention because one of the actors in it was Hiroyuki Sananda, and I know him. Like, I don't know a lot about him, but I learned more and more over the last 4 or 5 years of him and his history. And you know, Sonata, he's the guy that directed and starred in the Shogun series, if you haven't seen that, which is incredible. He was in John Wick 4, Mortal Kombat 2021. He played Scorpion. He was in The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise and him. And then, of course, he was in the horror film The Ring. So he's been around for a while. And, like, you know, of course, obviously, I know him more from Mortal Kombat. That was kind of like where I first took notice of him, really. And then all of a sudden he started getting all these roles with Shogun and John Wick 4 and stuff. So he's been catching fire, but he's pretty versatile as an actor. But even going back to this film, Shogun Ninjas, which we'll be reviewing, you can see him there in the poster. Like, he's so young, I really don't recognize him there. I've only seen him as a much older guy in the film. And but, you know, that's the thing about my history with martial arts and acting, is that I love martial arts films. I've been watching them since I was a young kid in the late 70s, but I wouldn't be an expert by any means on the history or even some of the actors. Like Jet Li had been around, and same with Jackie Chan. Both have been around for quite a while before I even know who they were. Like Jackie Chan, my first film that I remember seeing him in was Rumble in the Bronx. And then Jet Li, when I first saw him in the Lethal Weapon 4 movie, I thought that was his first fucking movie. Like, I thought, well, dude, this dude's great. Who is this? And then I find out the dude's been in the fucking film industry forever. Like, and these guys don't age. Like, and speaking of which, guys that don't age is fucking Sonny Chiba, who's the other one in this film that you will recognize. He's had a long historical career. Unfortunately, passed away in 2021. But I would know him more from The Storm Riders, which is one of my favorite movies from the late 90s. So I've known about Chiba much, much, much longer with stuff that he's been involved with. But he's also been in Battle Royale 2 and a shit ton of other stuff in his history of movie making, and well-known guy and great actor and martial artist and swordsman. So seeing these two guys on this, you know, for this movie called Shogun's Ninja, I thought, well, this has got to be good. Like, you know, I'm going to check it out and see how it goes. And so basically, and now this is the other thing, like, I saw the movie last night and it was dubbed. And so it was originally released in Japan in 1980. But from what I'm looking here on IMDb, it came out in 83. So I'm assuming that's the American version that we got. But the plot is a bitter rivalry between two ninja clans has left countless dead over decades of fighting. During a critical point in their war with each other, one of the kings sends his commander in search of two mystical daggers. Directed by Norifumi Suzuki, and as I told you, the main stars here are Sonata and Chiba. Now, there are some other familiar names for people who are more in the know with martial arts than I am, but when it comes to the main names, these two guys are the ones I know the most. So I'm going to play a few clips where I talk about it a little bit, and you can kind of see some of the action and storyline going on in here. But, you know, this takes place during feudal Japan. The idea is that Takamura, played by Sonata, is trying to reclaim his heritage for his clan after his father is killed when he is a boy. The mother then kills herself, knowing their days are numbered anyway. So she sends Takamura as a young kid on his own with one of these daggers. Now, the daggers are imprinted with a map to a treasure. So they're very valuable to whoever owns them and whatever treasure they're trying to get. Chiba, of course, is the evil shogun who is looking for these bad daggers, and he's also the one who ends up killing Takamura's father in the beginning. So the weird thing is, it's crazy at the time, is that Chiba was 41 when he was filming this role. And so, like, it just seemed like Sonny never really aged. Like, I never really got over, like, just how they stay youthful. And, you know, it's just such an amazing thing, that culture of Asian cinema and the martial arts and the spirituality that comes with it and stuff like that. So, in the film, Chiba's character also has two bodyguards. And I thought it kind of funny that as you go along in the movie, these two bodyguards are constantly there. So they're, you know, good in their own right. And they're kind of like tag teaming with Chiba's character to fight. But when it comes to the end of the film, when they finally get dispatched, they kind of just, it's like one and done. Like, it's not even a long out fight or anything. So I thought that was a little weird that you built up these two twins, bodyguards that are supposedly badasses, and then in one fail swoop, you know, Sonata's character is able to take him out, and it's like, oh fuck, you know, I want a little bit more deeper fight there. Obviously, the fight between Chiba and Sonata is much longer and better. But there's a few things that I thought was interesting in the film as well. Is that there's a point in the film where some of Sonata's characters, Takamura's character, loses some comrades because there's a lot of death going on throughout the film, which is not abnormal for these types of films. But as Takamura and a couple of the others are mourning the loss of their comrades at this big bonfire, which I'm assuming has their bodies as well as like these sticks that give their name. So it's like a tribute through fire to burn their ashes. But during this is when Takamura starts breaking out in this like weird dance, which is just I could tell it's supposed to be part of like his martial arts spirituality dance, but then at other times it looks like ballet, and so it doesn't really make sense in the context of what we're seeing with the movie. So it was just a little weird spot to put this in, and it didn't really fit with a lot of their stuff to go on with the movie. Even the music throughout this is very disjointed. It has like a very upbeat disco-esque 80s style pop soundtrack, and I don't know if the original version is different, but judging by some of the reviews I've seen, the major complaint about the film is the soundtrack, which after a while you kind of put it out in the back of your mind, so you're just concentrating on what's going on with the fighting and the story. It's still very weird to me because like every time you feel like you want to be in a certain mindset with what's going on, like a serious matter, it's got this upbeat music going on, and it's like it just doesn't work, and I don't know why they did that. So yeah, that's the weird thing about the movie that I didn't like, is the music soundtrack was just very bad. Now also at the end of the film, and I know there's spoilers here a little bit, not totally, but at the end of the film, you know, Takamura ends up tossing the blades into the sea. Like he's being confronted by another guy that sort of helps him, but sort of doesn't. It's like, you know, this whole movie has a lot of betrayal, deception, backstabbing, has mixtures of martial arts, ninjas, swordplay with samurai. It's like it's got a lot of shit going on in it, which is kind of nice. It brings a whole variable of stuff that you can look at and be amazed by the choreography and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, he doesn't want anybody to have these daggers, and he just tosses it in the ocean, which one of them was given to him by his mother. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me why he would do that at the end. So obviously he doesn't want anybody to have the treasure, but it's like, I don't know. He was a good enough fighter to finally get his revenge and protect the daggers, so to speak. I mean, he could have fought this last guy, but the other guy's like, fuck it, because he threw it into the sea, and he's like, I'm not going to fight you now. Who cares? But that whole movie, that guy's been trying to get those daggers as well. So it's like this constant, like, well, everyone's trying to get these, and then he just flings them in the ocean. But yeah, the acting's good in this. I really, really liked it. Was very surprised to see a very young Sanada in here. Like, I had never seen anything from him that I can think of, unless it was something that I didn't know at the time was him. But I didn't even realize he was in films like that far back. Because from what I remember, someone had told me that he had been like in actual real martial arts fighting tournaments and stuff. So that's kind of like what I thought he was doing prior to any kind of acting, So cats running all over the place. But, yeah, so he's had this long storied career in movies, and it's kind of cool. So I want to hopefully check out some other stuff because his martial arts is actually top notch. I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, I mean, as far as the rating for this film, it's not like a perfect 10. Like I said, the soundtrack is very off-putting when you're watching this because you want it to be a little more serious in the serious scenes that you have. So the movie just doesn't work. It's just really weird placement for that. And then, of course, some of the other stuff with the dance. God damn it. The dance with, the bonfire and, just it kind of threw just a bunch of shit into the mix here. And a lot of it works. And, of course, the acting helps carry a lot of that because you got both Chiba and Sanada here. So and the other supporting actors, both actresses and actors, are great. So it works. So it's an 8 out of 10 for me, but certainly something I wanted to talk about and bring to your attention if you hadn't seen anything with Sanada, going back in the day. And as always, if you have any more insight about the film, hit me up in the comments, tell me your thoughts about it all, and hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoy the content. And I'm going to try to get some more of these out to you at some point. We'll still do Bloodsport. I have a lot in my head that I want to do, but just all this other content that I'm working on as well with collaboration and stuff. So it's a matter of just fitting them in when I can. But yeah, good film. Check it out, and I'll see you next time on the Military Podcast. You see me before you die. Find the